Life is filled with noise, opinions, setbacks, interruptions, criticism. But what if I told you that real strength comes not from reacting to every little thing, but from remaining unaffected? Every small comment, every minor frustration that gets under your skin chips away at your inner power. When you allow the outside world to control your emotions, you become a puppet to circumstances beyond your control. But there's another way, the mindset of calm indifference. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No more overthinking, no more emotional outbursts, no more being trapped by someone else's words or actions. The truth is, the most unshakable people are not those who have fewer problems. They are simply those who've mastered their reactions. They've trained their minds to detach from chaos and stay grounded in their own sense of self. That's where real power lives. This mindset doesn't mean you ignore everything or don't care. It means you choose where to place your energy. It's about being strategic with your attention. Instead of reacting impulsively to insults or setbacks, you respond with clarity and strength. You realize not everything deserves your time, and that most situations won't matter in a month, let alone 5 years. When you master the art of not letting things bother you, you take back control. You stop giving away your peace over things that don't truly affect your purpose. You walk into each day with intention, calmness, and confidence. People notice. They may not understand how you stay composed, but they'll respect the silent presence you carry. This is how leaders are built, not by force, but by unshakable stillness in the face of noise. So the next time life tests you, pause, breathe, choose not to react. That one choice could be the beginning of your transformation, from reactive to resilient, from emotionally drained to emotionally in control. That's the mindset that wins. In a world that constantly demands your attention, learning to detach from emotional chaos is the key to true power. Most people live in reaction mode. A rude comment ruins their entire day. A small setback sends them spiraling. But those who understand the secret of emotional detachment move differently. They don't react impulsively. They respond with purpose. They don't allow others to dictate how they feel. That's strength. That's control. Emotional detachment doesn't mean you become cold or numb. It means you master your emotions instead of being mastered by them. You understand that your inner peace is sacred, and not everything deserves a piece of it. You learn to observe before reacting, to pause before speaking, and to question whether your response will actually serve your long-term goals. That one pause, that one breath, is the difference between giving away your power and keeping it. Think of a heated argument. Most people immediately jump to defend themselves. But imagine if you stood still, calm, unmoved. Your silence would speak louder than any words. You would own the moment, not because you won an argument, but because you stayed in control. That's what emotional detachment gives you, composure under fire. When you begin to separate your emotions from external events, life becomes clearer. You stop overanalyzing. You stop needing approval. You stop handing control to things that have no real impact on your purpose. Instead, you operate from a place of strength, clarity, and quiet power. The strongest individuals aren't the loudest or the most reactive. They're the ones who can walk through chaos with steady hands and a calm heart. They've trained themselves to remain grounded even when the world is shaking. That's your challenge now. Detach from the noise. Reclaim your mind. Respond with intention. Because when you master your emotions, you don't just change how you feel, you change how the world responds to you. There's a quiet strength in those who remain calm when the world turns chaotic, while others are quick to panic, to lash out, or to crumble under pressure. The calm individual stands firm. They don't need to shout to be heard. Their presence alone speaks volumes. And in that stillness, they gain something rare: respect. Think about the people you admire most. They're not the ones who react to every challenge with noise and emotion. They're the ones who walk through fire without flinching. the ones who stay composed when others lose control. That kind of calm isn't weakness, it's influence. It's the power to hold your ground when everything around you is shaking. Calmness in chaos creates clarity. When you're centered, you think better. You make smarter decisions. You carry yourself with purpose. And people notice. They may not always understand it, but they feel it. That steady energy makes them trust you, follow you, even emulate you. In a world full of overreaction, your calm becomes a rare and valuable signal. But make no mistake, this kind of composure is not born overnight. It is trained, it is chosen. Every time you pause instead of react, you strengthen it. Every time you respond with logic instead of emotion, you become more unshakable. Calmness is a discipline, and it becomes your edge. When you move through life with presence, grounded, focused, and calm, you naturally command more respect. People are drawn to certainty. They are magnetized by those who don't get rattled by every setback. And in that presence, you gain quiet authority, not by force, but by stability. So train yourself to be that person, the one who doesn't need to dominate the room to lead it, the one who speaks less but says more, the one who stands tall, not in noise, but in inner peace. Because in the end, real power doesn't panic. It leads. Emotional detachment is often misunderstood. People hear the word detachment and assume it means apathy or coldness. But true emotional detachment isn't about shutting off your feelings. It's about mastering them. It's about refusing to let external chaos dictate your inner peace. This is not weakness. This is power. Think of how often people lose control over things they can't control. An insult from a stranger, a bad day at work, a delayed flight. They get angry, frustrated, or sad because they've handed over their emotional control to the world around them. But when you are emotionally detached, you take that power back. You decide what gets your energy. You choose what truly matters. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop reacting. You feel the emotion, but you don't become the emotion. You acknowledge stress without letting it cloud your judgment. You recognize sadness without sinking into despair. And you face challenges without letting fear paralyze you. This is self-control at its highest form. Imagine someone trying to provoke you with harsh words. Most people would fire back or shut down. But the emotionally detached person doesn't flinch. They listen, pause, and decide whether that moment is even worth a reaction. That kind of control is rare and deeply respected. Detachment also means freedom. When you no longer need everything to go your way to feel okay, you become unshakable. Life can throw curveballs, and you'll stay grounded. People may disappoint you, but you won't crumble. You move forward with clarity because you know your peace isn't up for grabs. Emotional detachment doesn't disconnect you from life. It anchors you in it. It allows you to experience fully without being ruled by the ups and downs. So start practicing this quiet strength. Choose your reactions. Hold your center. And remember, the strongest hearts are the ones that remain steady, no matter the storm. In a world where most people are ruled by their emotions, the rare individual who remains calm under pressure stands out like a lighthouse in a storm. Emotional control isn't just a personality trait. It's a strategy, a mindset, and a true source of power. When others react impulsively, the calm person responds with clarity. That is where true strength begins. Think about how many situations escalate simply because someone couldn't control their reaction. A simple disagreement turns into an argument. A minor setback turns into days of frustration. But when you keep your composure, you hold the reins. You don't give others the power to dictate how you feel or act. That is power, not over others, but over yourself. This kind of control doesn't come naturally. It takes practice. It requires stepping back from the moment, breathing, and asking yourself, is this worth my energy? Most of the time, the answer is no. And when you choose not to react, You instantly shift the dynamic. You unsettle those who expected you to crumble. You stay grounded while they spin out of control. Leaders, warriors, and visionaries all share this trait. They don't panic when faced with challenges. They assess, they plan, they move with purpose. While others are driven by emotion, they are driven by intention. That's why they achieve more, command respect, and maintain influence without ever raising their voice. You too can develop this edge. Start by observing your emotional triggers. When frustration or anger rises, pause. Practice silence. Let the emotion pass like a wave, and then respond or don't respond at all. This is not weakness. This is wisdom in motion. In the end, those who stay calm in the chaos become the ones others follow. Because calm is rare, composure is powerful, and the one who controls their emotions controls the moment, and often, the outcome. Emotional detachment isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling. It's about mastering the art of pausing before reacting. It's the ability to protect your inner peace in a world that constantly tries to disturb it. When you develop this skill, you no longer hand your emotions over to every setback, insult, or inconvenience. Instead, you hold the power to choose your response, and in that moment, you become unshakable. The practice of detachment begins with awareness. The next time you're faced with a tense or emotional situation, pause. Ask yourself, is this really worth my energy? Will it matter tomorrow? That pause, though brief, is your greatest ally. It allows space for clarity and turns what could be a reactive outburst into a calm, deliberate decision. Too often, we let minor events disrupt our focus. Someone cuts us off in traffic and we carry the anger for hours. A harsh comment ruins our day. But when you're emotionally detached, you see these moments for what they are, trivial and fleeting. You save your energy for what truly matters. This mindset doesn't suppress emotion. It manages it. You still feel, but you don't let the feeling control your action. Like a skilled martial artist, you don't rush into every fight. You choose your battles. You remain calm in chaos, observant in stress, and focused in distraction. When you live this way, your focus sharpens. You're no longer pulled in 100 emotional directions. You become more effective, more strategic, and more respected. People begin to notice your calm presence, your quiet confidence, your ability to stay grounded when others spiral. In a noisy world full of emotional triggers, emotional detachment is your mental armor. It allows you to rise above, to think clearly, and to act with power, not reaction. Train this skill daily, and you'll discover that true freedom begins the moment you no longer feel the need to react to everything. In a world full of distractions and noise, a clear sense of purpose is the anchor that keeps you grounded. It's the compass that points you in the right direction, even when life feels chaotic. Without it, every distraction becomes a detour. Every setback feels like the end, and your energy is scattered in too many directions. But with purpose, real, defined, and personal, your focus sharpens. You begin to see what matters and what doesn't. Petty drama, criticism, and the opinions of others lose their grip on you. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. Your days are no longer driven by emotion or convenience. They're guided by mission. Think about the most focused, successful people you know. They aren't wasting time defending themselves, chasing approval, or reacting to every little thing. They are grounded. Why? Because they know what they're building. Their vision is bigger than the moment, and that gives them power. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or public. It only needs to be clear. Maybe it's creating a better life for your family, building a business that makes a difference, or simply becoming the strongest version of yourself. Whatever it is, define it. Write it down. Return to it every morning before the noise of the world creeps in. When your purpose is strong, distractions become background noise. You don't crumble at criticism, and you don't get thrown off course by minor setbacks. You know where you're going, and that clarity becomes your superpower. So ask yourself, what am I really working toward? Let the answer fuel your decisions, your actions, and your mindset. In every storm, your purpose will be your anchor. In every challenge, it will remind you why you must keep going. The world will try to pull you in every direction, but with purpose, you stand firm. In a world filled with noise, those who master silence hold the greatest power. It's not always the loudest voice that leads. It's the calm, composed presence that speaks volumes without saying much. True influence doesn't come from constant talking or explaining. It comes from the ability to remain silent, to observe, to let your actions speak where words fall short. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It causes them to question, to wonder, to fill the gaps with their own thoughts. That's why the person who speaks less often controls the conversation. They reveal little, while others reveal everything. And in that stillness, a powerful presence begins to take shape, one that can't be shaken by emotion or provocation. Think about the most respected people you've met. They don't rush to respond. They don't over-explain. They listen deeply and speak with precision. Their words carry weight because they are not wasted. Silence is their strategy, and it works. It disarms critics, unsettles aggressors, and creates an aura of calm confidence that few can match. Imagine being in a heated discussion. While others raise their voices, you pause. You let silence stretch. That pause forces others to reconsider their words, to feel the tension, to rethink their position. You don't have to argue to win. You win by staying composed, by letting your restraint become your strength. This kind of silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's emotional discipline in its highest form. It means not reacting to every insult, not justifying yourself at every turn, not explaining your dreams to people who won't understand. It's the quiet belief that you know who you are, and you don't need to prove it. So next time you're tempted to speak out, pause. Let others reveal themselves. Watch how your silence draws respect, how it shifts the energy in your favor. Because in silence, you gain the ultimate control, not just over the moment, but over yourself. Mental strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And like any muscle, your mind grows stronger through repetition, resistance, and daily discipline. The most powerful people you know didn't just wake up unshakable, they trained for it. Every day they chose calm over chaos, control over reaction, and focus over fear. When life throws challenges your way, and it always will, your first instinct might be to panic, to complain, or to react emotionally. But if you've trained your mind to pause, to breathe, and to evaluate, you'll find yourself in control when others are falling apart. Calmness under pressure isn't about ignoring your emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about recognizing fear or frustration and refusing to let it decide your next move. Start with the small things. Wake up a little earlier than usual. Finish the task you've been avoiding. Hold your tongue when you're tempted to argue. These aren't just behaviors. They're mental workouts. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your mindset. Each time you push through discomfort, you build resilience. A calm mind doesn't mean a quiet life. It means a powerful life. It means you're prepared for the storm because you've trained in peace. And when others react, you remain grounded. While the world rushes, you walk with clarity and intention. Remember, your thoughts are not always facts. They're habits, and habits can be changed. Train your mind to think in solutions, not problems. To see setbacks as lessons, not defeats. To stay composed when everything around you is falling apart. You can't control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. And that, right there, is the difference between living on defense and leading your life on your own terms. Train daily. Stay calm. Build a mind so strong that nothing can shake it. True power doesn't shout. It doesn't need applause, attention, or approval. It simply acts, quietly, deliberately, and relentlessly, letting results do the talking. In a world full of noise, where everyone is announcing their next move, the person who operates in silence holds the greatest leverage. Think about the most respected people you've come across. They aren't the loudest in the room. They don't broadcast their plans or brag about their goals. They stay focused, put in the work, and let their actions speak volumes. That's real strength, not in talk, but in execution. When you share your plans too soon, you open the door to doubt, distraction, and delay. You invite opinions that may cloud your vision or weaken your resolve. But when you move quietly, you protect your energy. You build momentum without interference. No one can sabotage what they don't see coming. Silence is not weakness, it's strategy. It gives you space to think clearly, to adjust without scrutiny, and to act without pressure. It allows your confidence to come from within, not from public approval. And when your results finally speak for themselves, they speak louder than any words ever could. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to post every move or seek validation for every decision. What you need is clarity, commitment, and consistency. Keep your ambitions private. Protect your dreams like they're sacred. And when success arrives, let it surprise the world. Real power lives in discretion. It doesn't demand attention. It commands respect. The less you say, the more people lean in. The more you hold back, the more people wonder how you stay so composed, so effective, so in control. So move in silence. Let others talk. Let others watch. And while they speculate, you'll be building, creating, and conquering on your terms. Life will test you. Unexpected setbacks, tense moments, and high-stakes decisions. But your greatest advantage won't be your skills or your resources. It will be your ability to remain calm under pressure. When chaos erupts, most people react. But the strongest minds pause, think, and respond with clarity. Composure is not something you're born with. It's something you build through daily discipline and mental rehearsal. Just like a soldier trains before battle, you must train your mind before the pressure hits. That means embracing stress as a teacher, not an enemy. It means expecting adversity instead of being caught off guard by it. Each time you choose patience over panic, control over reaction, you're strengthening your inner armor. You're rewiring your brain to perform under stress, not collapse because of it. Calmness isn't weakness. It's the ultimate form of strength. It shows discipline, focus, and confidence in the face of unpredictability. Think of pressure as your training ground. In moments of frustration, practice breathing. When things don't go your way, step back and evaluate before acting. Rehearse scenarios in your mind where things go wrong and visualize how you'll remain steady. This isn't just preparation, it's transformation. People will notice. While others crack under pressure, you'll stay grounded. While others rush to react, you'll calculate your next move. That presence, cool, collected, and centered, is what separates those who lead from those who follow. The truth is, life isn't about controlling every event. It's about controlling your response. And when you train yourself to remain calm no matter what, you take back your power. You stop being at the mercy of the moment and start owning it. Master your mind, and pressure will no longer break you. It will reveal how strong you've become. One of the greatest sources of stress and suffering is the constant need to control everything, outcomes, people, and even how life unfolds. But the truth is, much of life is beyond our control. The key to mental freedom isn't in trying harder to force things into place. It's in learning to let go. When you cling to expectations, you trap yourself. You expect people to behave a certain way. You expect results to follow a perfect plan. And when reality doesn't cooperate, frustration sets in. You begin to suffer, not because life is cruel, but because you're resisting what is. Emotional strength isn't about cold detachment or not caring. It's about knowing where your energy belongs. You can care deeply while still releasing the need to control the outcome. This is where real peace begins. You realize your power lies in your actions, not in the results. You plant the seed, but you can't command the rain. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means adapting. It means accepting what you can't change and focusing your energy where it truly counts. When plans fall apart, instead of spiraling into panic, you pivot. You move forward. You trust your ability to respond rather than your ability to predict. Train your mind to release attachment to rigid expectations. The job offer that never came. The person who disappointed you. The plan that unraveled. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If not, let it go. Stop replaying the story in your mind. Start creating a new one. The strongest people are not the ones who hold on the tightest. They're the ones who know when to release, refocus, and rise again. When you let go of what you can't control, you stop suffering unnecessarily, and you start living intentionally. Remember, peace is not found in perfection. It's found in presence. And the moment you let go is the moment you gain everything that truly matters. In a world where everyone rushes to speak, where noise is constant and validation is chased, silence has become a rare form of power. But make no mistake, true strength doesn't always roar. Often it whispers, and the one who can remain silent, calm, and composed in a world of noise holds the upper hand. Most people speak to fill the void, to be heard, to prove something. But those who understand the value of silence speak less and observe more. They listen carefully, respond intentionally, and never waste words. That restraint alone sets them apart. Because silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Think of a room full of people. The one who talks the most may get attention, but it's the one who speaks last, who speaks less, who commands respect. Every word they say carries weight, not because they shout, but because they chose not to speak until it mattered. Silence makes people curious. It builds mystery. It forces others to wonder what you're thinking, and that curiosity gives you control. In moments of conflict, silence is your greatest weapon. When someone insults you, they expect a reaction. When you respond with nothing but stillness, you take away their power. They can't feed off your emotions. They're left alone with their noise, while you stand unshaken. In negotiations, conversations, and leadership, those who use silence wisely always win. They let others reveal themselves first. They observe, calculate, and strike only when the moment is right. That kind of discipline is rare and deeply respected. To cultivate this habit, practice speaking only when it adds value. Pause before responding. Let silence do the talking. Let people lean in instead of tuning you out. Because when you master the art of silence, you don't just gain respect, you gain control. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. And in that quiet, real influence begins. Your mind is your most powerful asset. And like any muscle, it must be trained daily. Strength doesn't arrive in moments of crisis. It's forged in quiet consistency, in the small decisions you make every single day. The people who remain calm under pressure, who move with quiet confidence no matter the storm, didn't get there by accident. They trained for it. Mental toughness isn't about denying emotions. It's about controlling them. It's choosing not to let frustration dictate your actions, not letting fear freeze your progress, not letting doubt rob your momentum. And this level of control isn't natural, it's practiced. Every day offers you opportunities to build resilience. Waking up early when your body begs for more sleep. Holding your tongue in a heated moment when your ego wants to lash out. Sticking to your commitment even when motivation fades. These moments don't seem glamorous, but they are the foundation of an unbreakable mindset. Just as physical muscles grow through resistance, mental strength grows through adversity. The challenge isn't the enemy, it's the gym. Each time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you grow stronger. Each time you face a difficult situation with calm resolve, You prove to yourself that you are in control. To train your mind, create daily rituals. Start your morning with quiet reflection. Read, meditate, write your thoughts. Set a clear intention for the day. These practices build awareness and discipline. Over time, they rewire your brain to respond instead of react. When you master your mindset, nothing external can shake you. People will question how you stay so composed, how you handle pressure with such grace. The answer will be simple. You trained for it. You didn't wait for peace. You built it. Your mind, when disciplined daily, becomes your greatest weapon. In the chaos of life, it is your calm that sets you apart. Most of our suffering doesn't come from events themselves, but from our resistance to them. We cling tightly to how things should be, how people should act, how life should unfold. But the truth is, life rarely follows our expectations. The more we try to control the uncontrollable, the more we exhaust ourselves emotionally and mentally. True peace, real strength, comes when we learn to let go. Letting go is not giving up. It's understanding that your energy is better spent focusing on what you can influence. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. You cannot control how others think or how the world turns, but you can always control how you respond. Picture a river. It flows around rocks, never fighting the obstacles, never demanding a perfect path. That's how you must learn to move through life, fluid, adaptable, and resilient. When plans change, when people disappoint, when setbacks arrive, don't resist. Adapt. Let go. Letting go is a decision you make every day. It's choosing peace over frustration, choosing acceptance over resistance, choosing clarity over chaos. And once you do, a weight lifts. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart grows lighter. You no longer carry battles that were never yours to fight. The strongest people in the world are not the ones who control everything. They're the ones who've mastered the art of surrender. They know that peace doesn't come from controlling life. It comes from trusting that they can handle whatever life brings. So when you're tempted to overthink, to fight what you can't fix, pause. Breathe. Remind yourself, this moment doesn't define me. I am not here to control the world. I am here to live freely within it. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And once you embrace it, life becomes lighter, calmer, and more meaningful. In a world obsessed with noise, updates, announcements, constant declarations, the most powerful people are often the quietest. They don't need to announce their every move, explain their intentions, or seek applause. They simply act. And in doing so, they create results that speak volumes. Moving in silence isn't about secrecy. It's about focus. It's about conserving energy for the work, not wasting it on convincing others. When you talk less, you invite less resistance. There's no room for doubt, discouragement, or sabotage from outside voices. You keep your momentum. You protect your vision. The loudest voices often belong to the least certain. The strongest individuals, however, build quietly. While others are explaining, they are executing. While others are boasting, they are building. And by the time the world sees what they've created, it's too late to stop them. Power grows in the dark. Mastery is earned in solitude. When you move in silence, people can't read your next move. They wonder, they guess, but they never quite know. That mystery, it creates respect. Because you're no longer chasing recognition. You're creating undeniable results. So the next time you feel the urge to explain your goals, resist it. Let people see your progress, not your plan. Let them witness your transformation, not hear about it. When you accomplish something great without ever announcing it, the impact is tenfold. Discipline yourself to move quietly. Protect your energy. Keep your dreams sacred. Let the world talk while you work. Let others chase attention while you chase mastery. Because when your results finally arrive, they won't need an introduction. Move with purpose. Act with precision. Speak only when it adds value. And remember, Those who master silence often control the room without ever saying a word. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, one of the most profound lessons we can embrace is this: true strength is found in calm, and real power moves in silence. Not every situation requires a reaction, and not every voice deserves a response. When you stop chasing approval and start trusting your own path, you begin to live with clarity and intention. There is wisdom in stillness, grace in self control, and quiet confidence in those who no longer need to prove themselves. Instead of wasting energy on things beyond your control, direct your focus inward, toward your goals, your growth, and your peace of mind. Each day, take a few quiet moments to set one meaningful intention. Reflect on what truly matters and move through the day with quiet determination. Let your actions speak. Let your discipline guide you. This mindset isn't about withdrawing from the world. It's about engaging with it on your own terms. When you master the art of composure and purposeful living, you create a life that commands respect, not through volume, but through quiet consistency. This is the essence of real power, living with presence, direction, and unshakable inner strength.